What's up, Bulls Nation? Welcome back with another exciting update on your Chicago Bulls. If you haven't been paying attention, there's a new star on the rise, a player who could change the entire trajectory of this franchise. His name is Michael Porter, and let me tell you, Bulls fans, this guy is poised to lead us into a brand new era of basketball greatness. From his arrival in Chicago to his potential as a leader on the court, we're going to break it all down for you today. So, grab your jerseys, sit back, and get ready for one of the most important discussions for the future of the Bulls. Let's start by talking about who Michael Porter is, what he brings to the table, and why his signing or trade to the Bulls is such a game changer for the franchise. Now, if you've been following basketball over the last few years, you've probably heard his name pop up on your radar at least once or twice. But, for those who might not be fully familiar with his background, let's rewind and look at how Michael Porter arrived at this moment. This guy is more than just another rising star. He's someone with the tools to be the kind of player who can reshape an entire franchise. His journey to the NBA is what any basketball fan would call a story of potential and promise. It all began back in college when Porter first made waves with his electrifying performances that had NBA scouts drooling. With his combination of size, agility, and skill set, it didn't take long for everyone to realize that this kid wasn't just good, he was elite. He played with a level of confidence and flair that immediately drew attention, showing that he could score at will, create his own shot, and take over games when needed. His college days were filled with highlights, and he quickly became one of the most talked about players in his class. But as we know, the transition to the NBA is never guaranteed, no matter how much potential you have. As Michael Porter entered the league, there were questions about how quickly he could adapt. The NBA is a completely different beast than college, and not every prospect who dominates in college can make the leap to superstardom in the pros. But what made Porter stand out from other young players was his mentality and his undeniable work ethic. Yes, there were hiccups early on. Every player has their growing pains. There were moments where fans wondered whether he could consistently put it all together. But the one thing you couldn't take away from him was his talent. The skills were there. The potential was there. He had everything you wanted in a forward. And with every season, Porter only got better, slowly but surely. He worked on his weaknesses, fine-tuned his jumper, and became more aggressive on both sides of the floor. Now, let's fast forward to his time with the Chicago Bulls. The team, as we all know, has had its fair share of ups and downs over the past decade. For years, Chicago basketball fans have been waiting for the team to return to relevance. Sure, we've had some flashes of greatness. The years of Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler were exciting, but the team never seemed to get over the hump. We've seen some talent come and go, and we've watched the front office make some questionable moves. But all that has started to change in recent years, and Michael Porter is the type of player the Bulls have needed to take them to the next level. Chicago has built a strong core with players like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, both of whom have established themselves as all-stars in their own right. Add in the steady presence of Nikola Vucevic, and it's clear that the Bulls have some pieces in place to make a serious run. But the missing ingredient? A player who can truly lead the team, a two-way player who can dominate both ends of the floor, take on the best scorer on the opposing team, and also step up as a clutch player when the game is on the line. That's where Michael Porter comes in. If there's one thing that the Bulls have been missing over the last few seasons, it's that true leader, that player who can rise to the occasion and dictate the flow of the game when everything is on the line. LaVine and DeRozan are great players, no doubt, but neither of them has quite been able to take over games in the way that a true franchise player does. That's where Michael Porter stands apart. He's got that rare mix of size, athleticism, and skill that makes him a potential game changer for the Bulls. At 6'10", he's got the frame to play both forward positions, and he's athletic enough to guard almost anyone on the floor. On offense, he's a matchup nightmare. His ability to score from all three levels, whether it's hitting deep threes, attacking the basket, or hitting mid-range jumpers, makes him a weapon on the offensive end. But what really sets him apart is his versatility. Porter's ability to create plays for others, his vision on the court, And his knack for making the right decision at the right time is something that will pay huge dividends for the Bulls as they look to build a championship-caliber team. We've seen glimpses of this during his time with previous teams, and now, in Chicago, we're seeing the full potential of what Michel Porter can bring to this roster. Imagine a lineup with Porter, LaVine, and DeRozan all on the floor together. That's a lethal combination of scoring, playmaking, and defensive versatility. With Porter's ability to stretch the floor, it opens up driving lanes for LaVine and DeRozan to get to the rim. At the same time, Porter's shooting ability makes him a perfect fit to complement their styles. But it doesn't stop there. With his defensive potential, Porter can step up and lock down the opposing team's best player, giving the Bulls the ability to play tough, physical defense while still keeping an elite offensive presence on the floor. It's that balance of both ends of the court that makes him so valuable. What we also have to talk about is his mentality. Michel Porter is not just a player who has the skills, he's also a player with the confidence and mentality of a future superstar. His ability to perform in clutch moments has been a major talking point throughout his young career, and it's something that Bulls fans should be excited about. Whether it's hitting a game-winning three or making a key steal in the final seconds, Porter has shown time and time again that he's not afraid to step up when the stakes are high. That's exactly what the Bulls need, a player who can handle the pressure and take over in the most critical moments. When you look at the history of the Chicago Bulls, the franchise has always been defined by the presence of great leaders. Whether it was Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, or Derrick Rose, the Bulls have had players who could not only score but also lead their teams through adversity. Michel Porter has the tools to follow in those footsteps. His potential as both a leader and a scorer is exactly what this team has been missing, and it's why he could be the key to unlocking the Bulls' championship window. With a young, dynamic roster surrounding him and the right pieces in place, there's no reason why Michel Porter can't lead this team back to the promised land. And let's not forget the environment in Chicago. Bulls fans are passionate, dedicated, and loyal to their team, and there's a hunger in the city for another championship. Chicago is a city that thrives on basketball, and having a player like Michel Porter could once again turn the United Center into one of the toughest places to play in the NBA. With the right leadership and the right supporting cast, Chicago could once again become a destination for championship contenders, and Michel Porter could be the guy to lead the charge. So, what does the future hold for Michel Porter and the Chicago Bulls? It's hard to say for certain, but the foundation is definitely there. With the right development, chemistry, and the continued growth of their young stars, the Bulls have a real chance to make a deep playoff run and eventually contend for the title. Michel Porter is more than just a talented player, he's the player who could redefine the future of the Chicago Bulls, and Bulls Nation is ready for that next step. So, what do you think? Can Michel Porter be the missing piece the Chicago Bulls have been looking for? Is he the future face of the franchise? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for all the latest Bulls updates, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching, Bulls Nation, and as always, stay hyped, stay hopeful, and let's go Bulls!